Hi all and welcome back. Once again, I'm sorry it's been such a long time since I've made a video. I got coronavirus and I was pretty ill. Anyway, I'm back now, I'm fixed, I'm feeling good, and quite a few people have asked me why don't I do a paramotor video. So here we are. Also, actually, some people ask me, what is a paramotor? What's the difference? Well, you've seen all my paragliding videos and we saw the hills and the wind is being deflected up the side of the hill and we're surfing on that wind that's being blown upwards. The difference with a paramotor is we still put the harness on and strap ourselves in the same, but we've got an engine on our back with a pusher propeller. So it's as simple as that really. So we have a power unit. So when we squeeze the throttle that's in our hand, the propeller spins faster and that's giving us the thrust to take off. So we can take off from a flat field. So I'll show you a few things. If you're thinking of getting into paramotoring, I'll show you a few do's and don'ts. I would definitely recommend going to a professional school. If you're watching this and in your country you don't have a school, at least try and find someone that's paramotoring or paragliding that can give you some help. Please don't go off and try and teach yourself to fly one of these for obvious reasons. So let's get into a little bit about the motor and a few things that I do and pre-flight checks. Okay, so this is my personal new paramotor. This is a Parajet Maverick Sport. I've only owned this motor a couple of months. I've done all the running in. So the manufacturer, they recommend a certain sequence of running on tick over, a certain sequence of running in on small amounts of power applied, and then a little bit more power applied, and then some high power applied runnings back to tick over. That's all in the book. So whenever you buy a paramotor, make sure you do it by the book and mix it exactly how they recommend. Don't undermix or overmix. Do it exact. If you go on to eBay, you can buy a simple little oil measuring jug so you can get the exact amount of oil to the correct amount of petrol and stick to doing that. You don't want anything being able to blow back through any of the gaps and get near the propeller. That's an absolute must. We don't want anything going near the propeller. So if I turn the motor around, nothing can come through here. So a pre-flight check is checking that none of the straps that are to do with the reserve, to do with the harness. There isn't a great deal on this particular design that can come this way. Some paramotors, the harness straps, or the parts that the straps that hold the fuel tank in position, clip around here. And I did have, many years ago, I had a clip come undone, but it burst open and it went into the propeller, and it was tugging at the harness from underneath here, and it was real scary. So make sure you do real good pre-flight checks when you start learning to paramotor. Your instructor will teach you this anyway. Making sure all your tension on your cage is good, on your netting. Making sure all your prop bolts are nipped up. This video is not really supposed to be about too much of this. It's just going paramotoring and showing you the views and why I love paramotoring. But I thought while I'm in the barn and it's raining outside, I'll quickly show you some of this. So yeah, check all your springs on your manifold to pipe are not broken, which they're not. They shouldn't be. It's a brand new motor. I've said checking your bolts, checking your prop blades, leading edge and trailing edge, no chips. Nothing's damaged there. A quick feel of the belt tension. It's all pretty obvious stuff really. One thing that I'm really anal about on my pre-flight checks is the throttle, and I'll show you for why. Oh, it's a left-hand throttle typically. Let me just bring it around here. This is a check I really like to do. If you can see, when I squeeze the throttle moves here, look. So when I release the throttle, it's now gone to tick over. A check I like to do is, before I start the engine, is I'll open the throttle fully, obviously without it running, and I'll let it go fast, and I like to hear it tink closed. I like to hear like a tinking noise. Is it tink? I don't even know what the word is, where you hear it slam shut, just so I know there's no stickiness on the throttle. So if we try and get close to the microphone, listen. So you can actually hear the throttle fully closing. So I know when I start it, it's on tick over, it's fully back. I used to start mine, maybe pilots still do this, I used to start mine with my knee against it, like that. But unfortunately, there's been a few accidents where they have revved up, or for whatever reason they've slipped and people have put their hands through and hurt themselves. So the rule of thumb nowadays is do your priming and put it on. Strap yourself in and start it while it's on your back. Another good thing to remember, just while I'm waiting for the wind to hopefully swing back on the hill, another thing to remember is always be mindful of the direction you're flying in. So whenever I take off and I go off on a flight, I immediately start looking down for any horses, any animals, because you don't want to be flying over animals and scaring them and making them scatter and run everywhere. The owners are going to go mad at you, and you're probably going to end up getting banned from flying in your area. So always be mindful of where you're flying and the route you're taking. Don't be going over people's houses. I only drop down low level when I'm well out at the way of everyone, and I know it's a quiet sort of area. Another thing, prices. I might as well tell you some prices, so here they are. We've got a beautiful day, absolutely beautiful, but what wind there is, and there isn't a lot, is coming downhill, and as you can see I don't have a lot of room. The wind forecast is supposed to be uphill. It would be so nice to get above the cloud today, look at this, but it's not looking likely, unfortunately. Oh well. It's always best to walk away if you've got that gut feeling that you don't think it's going to end up being a good launch. Just don't go. Just walk back. I mean, the house is only there. Walk back. There's always another day. Well, I hope you enjoyed that. That's taken, what, 3 or 4 days of different days of filming. I wanted to get it done before Christmas so I can relax. I'm not going to do any more filming for a few days now. Well, for a week. So yeah, I hope you enjoy it. The prices I put on they're only rough because it depends what country you're from. I personally charge £1,300 for a full course, and that takes 10 days for paragliding. And then to convert a daily rate with me is I think 170 quid a day. And it's normally 3 or 4 days to convert from paraglider to paramotor. But anyway, those are very rough prices for new kit, and that's obviously in the UK. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and I hope it inspires some of you to learn to paraglide or paramotor. Cheers guys, and thanks again for subscribing. Happy Christmas and a Happy New Year. Woo! Buy the book. Make sure you buy the oil. Not buy. Start again. So make sure that you buy the oil that the manufacturers recommend.